These stories usually begin on dark nights when a group of inexperienced adventurers decides to go to the cemetery in search of adrenaline and fun. But, as the legends say, unusual and sinister forces rest in this cemetery. A group of friends, excited by the prospect of an exciting adventure, goes to the cemetery at midnight, armed with flashlights, hatchets, and other artifacts to protect against potential horrors. They begin their research and soon stumble upon an ancient tombstone covered with mysterious runes. Inexperienced and warmed by the excitement of discovery, they decide to hold some kind of ceremony, trying to read or recreate these runes. And now, when everyone is already starting to relax and joke about their fears, something unimaginable happens. The earth begins to shake, the graves crack, and something dark and sinister begins to come out of the ground, animated skeletons. Soon the friends realize that their reckless experiments have awakened ancient forces, and now they have to fight for their lives. So, while some friends are fighting for their lives, others, frightened and vaguely aware of their guilt, are trying to find ways to stop the unbridled evil that they brought to light. They rush to look for information about ancient customs and rituals that could prevent the horror that engulfed the cemetery. In search of answers, they turn to archives and sages, trying to find a way to return the skeletons back to the world of the dead. They discover that there is a legend about an ancient artifact that can bring the deceased back to rest. This artifact, known as the Keys of the Infernal Space, is considered lost for centuries, but, as legends say, it is still stored in some mysterious place near the cemetery. While some are looking for this artifact, others are trying to curb the revived skeletons, resorting to ancient knowledge and rituals. They face powerful trials and dangers. Their friendship and loyalty are tested to the limit. So, in a world where days and nights mix, friends go in search of the keys of hell space, relying on old maps and mysterious revelations. They face difficulties and pitfalls developing on each curved path. From time to time, the shadows of a criminal past cloud them, causing doubts and disputes. However, their will and determination only strengthen as they move deeper into the secret corridors and hidden caves. Soon they discover that the keys of hell space are stored in a tomb inhabited by ghostly spirits whose powers are the last test before reaching the goal. Under the threat of dangerous magical artifacts, loyal friends fight for every step forward and every breath of preserved air. While the mystical misadventures unfold, other friends left at the cemetery are learning to overcome their fears and doubts. They are immersed in ancient volumes and scrolls, trying to find a way to assure salvation. Every rustle and shadow in the cemetery reminds them of a clumsy awakening, and they decide to use their mental abilities and courage to curb the exorbitant evil they have caused. Under the shadow of inaccessible stars and in the darkness of centuries, friends continue their searches and battles. They stumble upon secret rituals and ancient manuscripts that reveal ancient secrets and superstitions. In the process of their efforts, they begin to realize that solving their task requires not only courage and determination, but also a deep understanding of mystical forces that can awaken or pacify spiritual entities. Meanwhile, the revived skeletons, raised from their graves, begin to show strange and unpredictable features. They gather around an old tombstone where an ominous awakening took place, and begin to perform strange dances to the ghostly sounds that resound through the cemetery. Their intentions remain unclear, but friends begin to suspect that there are unknown forces controlling these resurrected beings. But outside of sinister events and mystical revelations, fear and doubt settle in their hearts. Their friendship is put to the test, which threatens their moral stability and mutual understanding. Times are hard, but the strength of friendship and hope supports each of them, despite the dark trials they have to endure. When the air is saturated with magic and a shadow swirls over the agitated cemetery, friends begin to realize that in order to solve this riddle, they need to combine their skills and knowledge. They learn to distinguish true secrets from false ideas, using their abilities and intuition to bring light to the dark corners of this story. At this time, strange phenomena occur in the cemetery. The cloudy sky above them begins to light up with some kind of sparkling light, as if the breath of ancient creatures began to permeate every speck of dust in the air. Friends feel that the moment of decisive confrontation has come, the moment when the fate of the cemetery and their own fate will become intertwined, creating a new, uniform history. One of the friends, who has a special flair and connection with mysterious forces, begins to unravel the arcana of forgotten runes, plunging into the world of magic and mysterious creatures. His special connection with the unknown helps friends get closer to understanding the events and opportunities that open up before them. At the same time, the revived skeletons, whose behavior was mysterious and sinister, begin to show signs of memories from their former existence. They seem to be trying to express something important, but their ridiculous dancing and shouting leave a riddle that friends now have to solve. Under the shadow of vague epochs, when days add up to nights, friends continue to plunge into the abyss of mystical discoveries. They discover that the skeletons surrounding them in the cemetery are trying to convey an important message to them. But the ways of this message remain mysterious and ambiguous. At this time, decisions made at the other end of the Earth's space and time begin to influence the development of events, devoting themselves to the search for the keys of the infernal space. Some friends discover otherworldly crypts full of dark secrets and magical barriers. They face dangers and forces that go beyond human understanding. Their courage and determination are put to a decisive test. All this is happening in parallel with the efforts of those who stayed at the cemetery. They continue to unravel ancient texts, looking for answers to the questions that led to this terrible awakening. Together they begin to realize that the answers to their questions can lie in the power of friendship and harmony, and not just in old scrolls or magical rituals, thus unfolding in the mysteries of a mystical atmosphere and filled with the spirit of adventure and human will. This story is at the turn of the denouement, where the world of the living and the world of the dead are intertwined. The forces of premonition envelop each of the heroes. Their souls are filled with hope and fear. And in this great kaleidoscope of events and human feelings, new riddles are hidden waiting to be solved when the stars blur in the black sky. The friends continue their journey through the darkness of unknown forces and mysterious phenomena. In this world of mysteries and miracles, they learn to distinguish the true from the illusory, separating and dispelling the mists of doubts and fears. Under the influence of ancient forces that they will face, each of the friends begins to realize that the magic of this place penetrates into the very depths of their souls, revealing secrets that have been hidden for centuries. They come to realize that the answers to their questions may lie deep within themselves, in an inexhaustible source of inner strength and wisdom that can help them overcome any obstacles and trials. At this time, something incredible is happening in the cemetery. Revived skeletons, who previously performed their mysterious dances, begin to form strange images on the ground, as if trying to embody their mysterious messages. They create symbols and figures that carry a deep meaning, but have not yet been fully revealed to anyone. These signs begin to attract the attention of friends, as if calling them to the solution of this mysterious mysticism. Each new day brought more and more incomprehensible phenomena, vague voices, strange shadows, screams and moans that filled the air. The friends felt that the magic surrounding them of the incautiously awakened spirits of the cemetery began to clash over them. One day, under the rule of the blood moon, skeletons began to gather around friends, performing mysterious dances to the whistling of passing winds. Strange powers seeped through the layers of reality, and friends began to comprehend the horror of their situation. No, it wasn't a game anymore. It wasn't adventure jokes. They lost control of what was happening, and the world, blurring into darkness, revealed its true ugly features. Circumstances surged upwards like a whirlpool, overflowing them with their otherworldly powers and destructive magic. Their souls were consumed by the forces that they themselves had awakened by their thoughtless actions. So ended their legend. Their names were swallowed up in the night, and the memory of them disappeared into the darkness of cemetery secrets. Now only the creator of ancient elements and unrestrained magic remains outside the boundaries of reality, waiting for the next careless wanderers to this place of mysterious horror. The survivors have memories of those they have lost, of what sinister creatures they have awakened, and a terrible understanding that one should never offend the sleeping spirits of the past.